Yeah, if you could just send me an email and I'll take a look. So this is probably one of the most common responses on a prospecting call. And it's a bit of a smokescreen. It's kind of like, just leave me in peace. You haven't been interesting. Therefore, I'm trying to get rid of you. But I'm not going to be as rude to say not interested. I'm just going to let you down gently and ask you to send me an email so that you have just a little bit of hope left. That's usually what's going on. Of course, there's always exceptions. But in this situation, let's look firstly at what you shouldn't do or shouldn't say in response. And then we'll look at perhaps what the option should be and what you could perhaps come back with. So number one is do not get defensive, because a lot of salespeople might push back in the moment saying, well, I just wanted to discuss this. So if you're not interested, then fine. Something like that. It's not, conducive to opening up a conversation. So the second thing you shouldn't do is just blindly agree and take the email address and then say, yeah, I'll send it. And then why don't we catch up on the back of that? Again, you're accepting this at face value. And we know it's usually 9 out of 10 times it's a smokescreen to get rid of you. So what can you say? So you can call the elephant in the room straight away. This is quite a common one. So, John, do you mind me just being direct for a moment? No, go ahead. When people say this, it normally means that they're just trying to get rid of me. You can be honest if that's what's happening here. So again, they might be honest. They might say, no, I'm just busy, or it's a bad time. You've caught me between meetings. I've got to run, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm happy to give you a call back, say, later today or tomorrow. Then perhaps you can agree that maybe it is a bad time and you can call back, right? The second thing you can do in response is to say, yeah, no, of course, I can send you an email, take the address down, and then just start to go back into what they want to see. So just so that I'm clear, John, so I don't want to clog your inbox up with generic stuff, which I'm sure you've got thousands of in your inbox. But when I write the email, what specifically, from what I've said so far, would you like to see? Because we obviously discussed problems X, Y, and Z. Was there anything that jumped out at you that you'd like me to put in that email? Then he might say, yeah, maybe the second one you said. And then you can go back into your questioning. Okay, and on the second part, what, like specifically in that, could you just run me through, just very, I know you've got to run now, but just very briefly, like, why is that important to you? Oh, well, we've been struggling with blah, blah, blah. Okay, when you say you've been struggling with, is that high on the list of priorities? Is that lower down? Like, well, where does it feature? Then he might give you a bit more. But you're back into some kind of conversation. So the email is still there. You can still send it, but you're starting to dig a bit further and really understand, is this even relevant to this person? And should I even send anything at all? So another response can be, send me an email. Yeah, no, happy to. In fact, are you currently at your desk? Yes. Well, I tell you what, just take my URL and that just will give you a general overview of what we do. So www. Then let him take URL, then just go back into your conversation. So just before we go here, John, do you mind me asking just a couple more questions? Yeah, sure, go for it. So on the issues that I mentioned, would you say it was the first, the second, or the third that really resonated more? Probably the first. Okay, and what was it about the first? Like, could you just give me a bit of context, what that means to you and your business? And then again, you're back into your questions. Now, they might not give you more time to have that extra conversation, right? And at that point, you just call it. Just say, look, I get the feeling that this is just not the best time. Or maybe I just haven't been interesting and nothing I've said has resonated even slightly. Would that be fair? What would you say? Well, listen, I am rushed off my feet. Give me a call tomorrow. I think maybe the second thing you mentioned could apply to us, but I just can't think now. I've got a million and one things to do. So buzz me back tomorrow. Okay, I can do that. What's a good time? Say 3:00. Okay, let's do that. And I'll call you then and we'll have 5-minute chat and see if it's worthwhile. Okay. So there you go. That's how I would respond to send me an email.